Gooden's got a book called Doc, a memoir, and talks about I'm an alcoholic and drug addict as well, by the way.
Okay.
In fact, I think I was in rehab when you were. So I went to rehab in '87. When'd you go?
Yeah, 87 was the first one at Smithers Institution. And I've been, struggling back and forth with that for basically over 20 years.
I went to rehab at Hazleton in West Palm Beach. And I actually liked it. Did you like it or no?
Actually, I went to Hazleton as well in West Palm Beach. I went there in 2005.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I actually, unfortunately, been to 6 rehabs, and it took this last one for me to finally get it right.
Well, let's go back now to, first of all, why are you talking about this now? Have you ever talked about this before?
Not as much as this. It was a situation where, as you know, you only sick as your secrets, and for me to get honest with myself and to get clean, I had to get rid of all that stuff and come clean. A lot of stuff I was holding in, and as I found out, it was just reservations for myself to go back out and use. So for me, I felt the time was right. I was comfortable in my own skin. I would finally, surrender to my sobriety and surrender to my disease and know what it's about. And before this time, I was always kind of hesitant and always in denial. But it was a situation where, you just get sick and tired of the lifestyle.
Get sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's basically what it was. And as you know, there's no perfect rehab. It's just a matter of, you being ready, and what you put into it is what you get out of it.
What are you doing, cocaine?
Powder cocaine and alcohol was my thing.
Vodka?
Vodka.
Be loving that vodka, man.
Yeah, here's vodka. If I ran out of vodka, it was whatever I can get my hands on to.
I used to like that 100 proof Stolshanaya, and I put it in the freezer, so it become like syrup, And then, but your hands would be shaking, try to drink that in the morning. Those are the days.
Sure.
How long you been sober?
2 years now.
Have you?
Yeah, March made 2 years. So, to get to that point is definitely a blessing. I remember a time it was tough for me to get, 2 days in.
What got you sober?
I think what got me sober was finally committing to this disease and understanding that my lifestyle has to change. That my problem was I just want to change certain things, but I had to change everything and be committed to it.
Back in, were you on a celebrity rehab with Dr. Drew? Is that right? Or?
Yes, I was there, and Dr. Drew, I know a lot of people think the show is a drama show, but you have a little bit of that. But for me, behind the scenes was when I got my real recovery and got honest with myself.
So the guy helped you, right?
Definitely helped me. He was a great guy. Bob Forrest, who helps him out, did a tremendous job. Had me deal internally more so, and then get myself right.
So you came to New York and when?
The first time I got here was 1984. I was 19 years old, coming from Tampa, and a lot of credit goes to David Johnson for having me on the team.
Had you done drugs or anything before at that time?
I think at that time I was drinking, obviously, in high school, smoking marijuana occasionally, and then the cocaine picked up after the season in '85 for the first time.
Well, then '85 is the year you had a great year, right?
'85 was a great year. And I remember that off season was the first time I tried cocaine, and then in '86, that's when I got totally out of control.
Yeah. You won 25 games in '85, was it?
24 games. I thought I should have won more. I had a couple games where I had pitched 9 shallow innings and got no run support. I had nothing to show for it. But '85 was a tremendous year.
Did you ever pitch when you were high?
I never pitched when I was high. I had a situation where, as a starting pitcher, you pitch once every 5th day. So I always gave myself 2 days before I pitched before I would get high or have any drinks.
Trying to straighten yourself out.
Yes, but as I mentioned a lot of times in the book, where I always make sure the day that I pitch, that night I was going to either celebrate because I won, or I was going to drink and party because I lost.
Did you ever figure out why you did drugs or drank?
Why I did it? I think I was just basically, when I started out doing it, I was basically medicating myself. There's a lot of situations where I had a lot of guilt, shame, expectations from others, and I let it become my expectations. And so to deal with it, instead of asking for help or being honest with myself and speaking on how I'm really feeling, I would medicate myself with drugs and alcohol.
Talk with one of the great pitchers of all time, Dwight Gooden. His new book is called Doc, a memoir. And it's an honest account of his life and an account of his baseball accomplishments as well. And something a lot of people, probably everybody, should read. So, because there's a lot of people with problems don't even know they have problems, So, and it's inspiring. So, particularly as you got yourself straightened out finally, man. Been a long road, hasn't it?
Well, it's been a long road, a tough road, and like I said, a situation where now, obviously not getting younger, and I look back at it for as my addiction. I've been in rehabs, I've been in jail, I've been in prison, if I was to go back out, the only thing left for me is the cemetery, and I'm not ready for that. I have 7 kids, 3 grandkids, so I got to be around. But first of all, I had to do it for myself.
I don't think I've ever met you, but you look pretty good.
Thank you. I feel pretty well. I think we might have ran across each other in the 80s. I think we did, but I'm not sure. I think so.
I wouldn't remember. Maybe you wouldn't either.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, man. You know, I went to AA for a long time and lied about drinking. I used to speak at AA meetings, and I had been drinking, but of course, so you can imagine what your self-esteem is. Well, you know, when you're lying about it, and man,
Well, it's a tough thing, especially, you know, like you say, you're lying about the addiction, and then you forget what you lied about.
Well,
makes it even tougher, yeah.
Can't remember what you said.
Yeah.
So how close were you and Darryl Strawberry?
Me and Darryl, you know, I came up in 1984. At that time, was pretty close. We used to ride to the ballpark together. You know, we would take turns driving. 85 was pretty close, but then it seemed like things changed as that season started to go along, and the friendship wasn't there as much as it was. And throughout the years where he'll point the finger at me about certain things when we both were doing the same thing and doing it together. And once I retired, there was a lot of negative stuff that he was saying about me in the papers. Even like 2010, he was placing calls to my family and to my ex-wife about things that I didn't think was right or what a friend should really do. So it's been like a love-hate relationship. I still, you know, root for him, and it's hopefully, you know, he's doing okay. Yes, but it was right though for that time, especially while I was going through with my father.
Sure. What are you doing now?
What I'm doing now is I do some work with the Mets and Yankees, more on the corporate side. I help coach my 8-year-old baseball team. I do a lot of stuff with the youth program, the correctional centers, do stuff. Real deal. I like his mound presence, even though this is his first full year. But when he's out there,
were you always?
And as a kid, it was one of the situations where my dad was a tremendous baseball fan. I mean, he would games going on, it could be Little League or what have you. He would pull over and watch the games. And on Saturdays, so baseball networks will watch my pro side. It's really sad to see because these guys are tremendous for the steroids, and at the time, the era that. And you hate to see it. Like I said, I played, but I'm also a big fan, and you hate to see those type of things. And I give Bud Selig and Major League Baseball a lot of credit that they're cleaning up. And I know a lot of stuff came out last night, which hopefully gets cleared. And
were there people doing steroids when you played, or?
It wasn't that big. Not towards the end of my career. In the '80s, it wasn't a big thing. Amphetamines was a big thing, but I think towards the end of my career, probably from 99 to 2000, that's when it started coming around.
And you played with Lenny Dykstra, right?
I played with Lenny. I actually knew Lenny in the minor leagues. We started together in Lynchburg, Virginia, in 1983.
Man, what the hell happened to him?
I think Lenny, just my personal opinion, I think he needed to be in a mental institution opposed to being in prison. I think he had just some mental issues from drug use and so on.
Well, God bless you. Stay straight. So you look good, and I hope you do continue to do well. So pleasure to meet you. Honor to have you on the program.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
I hope your book does well. I hope you wind up with a bestseller. You ought to, because it's an inspiring story for kids who think it's cool to smoke. Well, I'm not against people smoking weed, frankly, but to do cocaine and stuff like that, I just think, I hope they listen to your message.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Dwight Gooden here in the Imus program. The book is